guys, and welcome back. So today, I thought I would do something different, something kind of interesting. I thought I would sit here and do something, I guess, sort of like a vlog, I guess. I realized the other day when I posted my video, one of my new followers, Daisy. Hi, Daisy, if you're watching. Wow. I was talking about how shooting the video and then how I wouldn't be able to taste what I made. And I just realized that for my new subscribers, I hadn't explained why. So I figured I would kind of do, I guess not like a Q&A because I don't have any questions to answer. But I thought it would be kind of interesting to tell you guys a little bit about myself, especially for my new followers. I thought it would be kind of interesting, I guess, to do a little, here's a little bit about myself. And I figured, since you see this in almost every video, my little mascot that sits behind me on the counter, my little flower, she's Shopkins. And there's a little background behind the Shopkins too that I'll get into a little bit later. But my little flower Shopkins that sits there, my little kitchen mascot. I love her so much. But I wanted to start off with basically kind of the main reason why I say in all my videos that I can't taste or try any of my foods, because I know it's a big thing, especially for me too. When I watch YouTubers, especially the mukbang channels that I like to watch now, because if you don't know what mukbang is, these are people who do, they're eating channels. You watch these people and they eat lots of food, different foods. And for me, it's awesome because being someone who can't eat, some people I guess would think it's weird or whatever, but for me it's interesting because I get to watch these people eat the foods that I love and I miss eating. So I guess, through them, you get to enjoy that, I guess. Plus, I love these people too. So the reason why I cannot eat, it's a very long story, so I'll try to keep it short. But about 2009 is when I started realizing that I was having a very hard time. And I'm sorry if, this grosses you guys out or anything like that. You can just skip forward if you want to. But I felt like it would be helpful to kind of not only explain, but educate. Education is a great thing too, especially for people who don't know. It's good to know. Because especially when I go out in public, I get all the weird looks, I get all the stares, I get all the people who are like, what is she doing? Especially because I have a handicap plate on my car and I pull into the handicap spots and people are looking at me like, how are you handicapped? It's very hard, getting all those looks and knowing that you're judged everywhere you go. So about 2009 is when I started noticing it was very hard for me to go to the bathroom without using an excess amount of stimulants like Dulcolax. At one point I was up to taking 30 a day in order to go to the bathroom. So that prompted my gastroenterology doctor to do some nuclear med studies where I would have to eat an egg sandwich that had radioactive dye in it so they could highlight my insides, my stomach and my intestines to see what was going on. And ultimately what came down to was that my stomach was paralyzed and my large intestines were paralyzed. Small intestines had some function to it. So then that kind of went on for a while, with diagnosis of gastroparesis, which that just means generalized is that paralysis of stomach, GI, unknown reasons. About 2012 is when it got really bad. I got down to about 80 pounds and I was living in Pennsylvania at that time with my husband and our daughter. And I went to University of Penn, saw, quote, the best of the best doctors there who had no answers. And as you can imagine, trial after trial, medication after study, and it was the epitome of being a lab rat. Then I went to Penn State Hershey, where I met an amazing doctor, and he had explained that, he went to school with some really incredible doctors from Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, and suggested that, we go see those doctors. And how are we going to drive from Pennsylvania to Georgia? It just wasn't feasible. So at that point, I went on disability. So I was no longer able to work because of the malnutrition. I was just so sick, 80 pounds. I'm only 5'3", for goodness sakes. So we ended up moving to Georgia so I could go to Emory to see all of these doctors. It's Emory University, huge hospital. I mean, you hear about it just as much as you do Mayo Clinic. I mean, Bobby Brown's daughter was there. President Carter was there. It's a huge hospital. So moved here in 2013 and saw doctors. The first appointment immediately admitted as an inpatient in the research clinic part of Emory. Tests, doctors, students. I mean, I would wake up to have 10 students and doctors in front of me, and genetic testing and one thing after another. And now I have 2 older brothers, and I have a twin sister. My twin sister has the same exact condition that I do. Our brothers don't. My mother, my father, they don't. So we don't know. We don't know how we got it or why. There's some talk about some Agent Orange poisoning that came from my father when he was over in Vietnam, because he worked firsthand with the Agent Orange and the barrels. So, but we don't know. So after all of that, I had a tube placed down my nose into my stomach, and we did tube feeds for 2.5 months. That failed because my small intestine failed, so I had total intestinal failure. So at that point, pretty much from esophagus all the way down to the very bottom, paralyzed, and we had to end up doing what we ultimately said we never wanted to get to, which was putting a line that is tunneled through my neck, underneath my clavicle, and into my heart. And it is called a Hickman catheter. It's almost like a PICC line, but not. It's more permanent than a PICC line. PICC lines aren't meant to stay in for a long term, nor is the Hickman catheter, but we have no choice at this point. So now, when I say get all my nutrients via IV, that's what I mean. This is my IV line that stays into my heart. And what this hooks up to is a 1,500 cc bag of fluids. And what this has in it is everything that you would ever need to survive. It includes amino acids, sugars, magnesium, sodium, potassium, calcium, zinc, copper elements. And in addition to this bag, I am sent numerous vials of vitamins, B6, B12, vitamin D, vitamin C, and I have to add that to this bag, and these bags are 24/7. And this is not meant to be long-term either, because this will harm your kidneys and your liver, and at this point, that's, I'm 2013, I'm into it, so that's what it's, labs aren't great, but this is what we're down to, so that's what I gotta do. So I take this and I hook it up, obviously, and then I have my little bag that my husband has fixed up and made it to where he put like a little snap in the top right there. So that what that does is that hooks through the hole right here at the top. So I can carry this around with me wherever we go. And it hooks up to a CAD pump that looks like this. And it's calibrated to how much it pumps over an hour, over 24 hours. So when I do my videos, I try to hook it up to the cupboard, the handle on the cupboard, or just set it down, because when it runs, it goes It's really annoying. Right now I forgot to take this out when I was supposed to because you have to let it sit out for 4 hours to come to room temp. So it's quite cold, as you can see, the condensation. So that me. So that's it in a nutshell. That's where I'm at. If I were to choose to eat something in my mouth, repercussions is whoop, come right back up. Or I do still have to do some laxative. I do also have a tube in my stomach. The purpose of it is for feeds, but since I don't do feeds, it's a J tube. The G portion, gastro, goes to my stomach. The J goes into my intestines. So for the G portion, I get to vent. If I'm distended or bloated, I can vent the air or what have you. The G, I can still push Miralax, which is a natural laxative, so it uses the water in your body. Because even if you don't eat, your body still produces waste. So I still need to get rid of that because my body doesn't do it on its own. I have to help it. So that's what I do. And I do that on a every morning basis. So that's that part. And as far as YouTube, I created my first channel that's under Beth Gates. I created that two and a half years ago. And that was more of just I wanted to come on and do whatever. I wanted to make my own recipes and share them with people. So if you want to check out Beth Gates, I'll leave the description in the link below. And that has a bunch of my favorite personal recipes. And I kind of dabbled a little bit in doing reviews. I wasn't really quite sure what I wanted to do here on YouTube. And plus my niece Elizabeth loved watching YouTube. So I would call and be like, well, what do you want to see? What do you want to see, Elizabeth? And so I would kind of go off on what she wanted to see. And she was a big, and you'll see a few tribute videos to her because she did pass on Valentine's Day last year. She had a very rare terminal genetic disease, and when you see me wearing my angel, this holds some of her ashes in it, so I try to wear this every day for her, and that will bring me to my Shopkins. Little Miss Elizabeth loved Shopkins, loved everything Shopkins, so that kind of reminds me of her. That's why I keep my little Shopkins in the kitchen, because I know she would have absolutely loved this. So every time I cook or I bake, because we used to bake together when she would come to visit Georgia, or we'd go to Idaho and visit, we would bake together. That was our favorite thing to do. And besides talking on the phone, 2 o'clock in the morning or whenever, she was one of my best friends. So that is that. But other than that, you've met my daughter Brittany, and you've seen my husband Chad. That's just us here in Georgia. We're about 45 miles north of Atlanta. We're closer to Athens, which is where Georgia State College is. And but there is someone else that I wanted to introduce you guys to. So let's head on upstairs to the bedroom, and we will go meet her. Ooh. Okay, so I had to wake her up. That's her cage in the background. So, and she's just in this tiny little pouch. You ready? This is Dixie Mae. She is my little love bug. She is a sugar glider. Now she's really sleepy because they're nocturnal, and they originate from Australia. Say hi. Look at her little sleepy cheeks. Now, I'm going to see if she will do this for you guys, because her favorite treats ever are these, what are they called? Rainbow Softies. I get all of her treats from sugargliders.com, so they're all safe for her. Now, they all vary. Their favorite things are mealworms, but I ain't touching that. So I know, you know what you're going to get, huh? Tell them how excited you are. See, I'm so excited. Now, if I can get her fully out, you guys will be super, super excited about how tiny. She only weighs 2.6 ounces. Her tail's longer than she is. And how I can best describe her, like as far as how soft she is if you've ever felt a chinchilla, that's how soft they are. But now these little soft chewy things are like, they're so squishy. And oh my God, does she go crazy. Like if I have the lid on, she will attack the lid. That's when see, she hears it. If I tap the lid, she'll go nuts. Watch, see if she does it. What's that, Dixie? What's that? And then she'll climb on it and she won't even let me open it. What's that? Oh, there she goes. Ah, you're going crazy. She's going nuts. That's what she normally does. And then she'll come out for it. I want to see if I can get her to come out. Let me see if I can put it on the lid and then see if she'll come out onto the lid. Come on. Come on. You gotta come out. Dixie, come on. Come on, Dixie. You gotta come out. Come on. See her ears? And she has big old bug eyes. Nope, you gotta come out. Because otherwise she'll grab it and she'll go right back in. And I want her to come out. Oh, I gotta cut your nails, they hurt. See? She just grabs it. And she likes to lick it. And she squeaks when she eats it. Literally the cutest dang thing in the world, I'm telling you. And they live 10 to 15 years. And the weirdest thing, how we found her, is when we first moved here. And, you know, I was, well, first of all, I was a registered medical assistant and I worked in the ER in Pennsylvania. So going from such a high stress, go, working, and I loved every minute of it. It was my dream job because I'm a nurturer by nature myself. And then having to be told, okay, well, you're disabled, can't work anymore. You know, it was depressing. It was depressing to being told, okay, you have to stay at home, you can't do anything. So I wanted, you know, and we had an English bulldog named Bella. She unfortunately passed less than a month after my niece. We were walking around one of the flea markets when we first moved here, and I'll be darned if they didn't sell sugar gliders there. So that's where we found Dixie. So that's where I got her, and you know, did a lot of research, and they require a lot of attention, which worked out perfect because here I am at home, you know. So, and Brittany, I think she started sophomore year here, I think. So I had a lot of time to give to her, so it was perfect. But 10 to 15 years, and they don't need vets. They don't carry any diseases. They're one of the cleanest animals ever. She is just my little love bug. People always make fun of her eyes because they say she has bug eyes. But I love her eyes and her little batty ears. Show me your batty ears. There you go. And her fingers, oh my gosh. If I can get, she has little knuckles. So cute. Look at your face. Yes. Say hi. Say hi. And she does, she is a marsupial. So she does have a pouch. And just like a kangaroo. And their babies, they either have one or two. If they have two, they're twins. And when they do have babies, they are the size of a grain of rice. And I would love to get her a boyfriend, husband, or whatever. But we tried to get her a sister. And let me tell you what this little one did. Because we waited, I think she was over a year, she bullied her. Now, her name was Daisy Mae. So, she bullied Daisy, and she almost bit the corner of her ear off. So we had to give Daisy back, didn't we? Because you were a bully. We had the bullying conversation, and you stole her food. Like, where is it? Where is it? Here. You want another? You want a blue one? Let's get you a small one because that one was big. Oh, there we go. She'll be perched. Just like that. See how she pulls it? Isn't that the cutest thing ever? See her little knuckles? Aren't they so cute? I swear she is like the cutest thing in the world. Now, over here where that other blanket is, my daughter has a hedgehog. Now, I'm sorry if y'all are hedgehog lovers, but I am not. It is just one big ball of spikes. How do you enjoy that thing? You don't? That's the answer. I mean, sure, she can pick it up and get spiked or whatever you want to call it, but I mean, that thing just like hisses constantly. That thing poos in its wheel and runs in its poo, and she has to no. No, ma'am. Not for me. I'll take my Dixie. Huh, Dixie Mae? Yes, my little pumpkin. And they are mostly made of cartilage because, as their name says, sugar glider, they do glide. Now, if I was to stick her on top of her cage, or even in her cage, she will glide. They will like, whoo. I mean, they're much smaller than flying squirrels. Because a lot of people say, oh yeah, they're just flying squirrels or just flying squirrels. Oh, sorry, Dixie. They're not, as you can see, much smaller. Well, you can't really tell, but she's much smaller than a squirrel, a flying squirrel. But if she would come out, she's smaller than the inside of my hand. And then her hands get sticky from these chewy little things, and it annoys her. So she'll like flick her hand, and then she'll have to lick all the goo off. Show them how you lick your hands. Dizzy, lick your hands. Lick your hands. What's going on? Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, everyone. Do you want your water? She got thirsty. So I have her water right here. Here. And she likes to hold on to her water bottle. Like she'll stick her hand in it to push the ball up. But she drinks incredibly quick. So to her, this is like the life. Because, I mean, geez. You don't even have to get out of your bed. You get a treat, you get water, you get loved on. What could be better than that? Huh? Nothing. Her other favorite treats are, she loves grapes. She loves apples. I get her anything organic. I'll go to Trader Joe's and I'll get her banana chips. Freeze-dried mangoes are another one. And also the Gerber baby puffs, if you know what those are. They're meant for, I think they're toddlers. They're made by Gerber and they're called puffs. And they're flavored like apple cinnamon and stuff like that. And what they do is they dissolve quickly. They're good for them. And she loves those. She just finished her mango peach ones. So I think I'll go back and get her some apple cinnamon ones. You done? You gonna say bye? Say bye to everyone. Dixie. Hello. You gonna say bye? No? She's like, no, I'm not. I'm just going to bed. There you are. Bye. Bye. Good night. Sorry I woke you, but you got a treat. Huh? So that's Dixie. That's my love bug. Hi. So that's Dixie, everyone. So as far as anything else, as far as I go, I was born and raised in Southern California. Moved to Idaho when I was 21, I believe. Moved to Pennsylvania when I was 27. Moved to Georgia when I was 33. So moved around quite a bit. You know, all sorts of things. Like I said, 2 older brothers and a twin sister, and right now we're the only ones living in Georgia. We do have cousins. I have my cousin Stacy and his wife Carrie and their family up past south of Atlanta. So we do have them here. Absolutely love them. So I get to see them. Everyone else is either in Pennsylvania, Idaho, or California. So, and it's just my husband and my daughter and I here. And other than that, I love to cook and bake, and even though, you know, I can't taste it or enjoy it, it brings me a lot of joy to make people happy. It, you know, it used to be caring for them, you know, in the hospital setting when I worked in the ER, and I've worked in doctors' offices, surgeons' offices. So now I just do it through food, and I absolutely love it. So, you know, my husband works at a big company, so I like to bake for them and send stuff with my daughter. Used to be to school, whatnot. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. So if you guys have any other questions or anything like that, I am an open book, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So I just thought I would do this for you guys and just kind of introduce myself and say, hey. And thank you guys for subscribing and watching, and I really appreciate it. And I look forward to doing more videos with you guys. So if you have any requests, again, leave them in the description box below, and I will do anything that you guys would like to see me do, review, and all that. So I hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.